Hi, I'm Cautex, and in this video, I'll be trying to convince you to start doing your own theory crafting in WoW, and that watching the upcoming videos in this series on the basics of how to do theory crafting will help you do that. In reality, this will probably just be me attempting to justify why I went through the effort of creating a bunch of videos on a subject that most people will likely never be interested in. Now, I define theory crafting as the process of attempting to find out what is optimal. This is typically accomplished using a combination of the following two methods. First, analysis that attempts to figure out what's going on and what to do about it, or two, experimentation to try and discover new ways of doing things. While this definition may make theory crafting seem really daunting, super difficult, and incredibly specific, if you think about it, based on this definition, every single time that you run a top gear simulation in Raidbots, you're actually theory crafting. What you're doing is you're experimenting with different gear sets to attempt to figure out how much DPS each gear set does and which is the best to use. The primary reason why I think that it's important to learn to do theory crafting in WoW is for the purposes of self-reliance. Simply put, when you have a question about what's best in a given situation, there may not be an answer to that question that's posted in a spot that's easy to find. Learning how to answer your own questions is an incredibly powerful skill. Second, I believe that it'll make you better at the game. Now, I'm not about to claim that you need to know how to do theory crafting in order to be good at the game. I do think that you need to have some theory crafting capabilities in order to truly understand the game, which in turn can make you better at the game. Third, diversity of ideas and viewpoints will lead to better solutions. As far as I've ever noticed, there's typically only a handful of trusted theory crafters for each spec. These people are not infallible, and they rarely have the time to consider every nuance or possible option. Having more people looking into finding solutions and optimizations will ultimately lead to better solutions faster. Fourth, in the vast majority of circumstances, it's not particularly difficult to do theory crafting. Sure, it can certainly be time-consuming in some cases, but most of the time, theory crafting just involves doing relatively simple tasks in a systematic way. Over the course of this series, I'll be discussing what I believe are some of the fundamental skills to doing your own theory crafting. Now, it must be understood that I'm also not infallible, and I would definitely not consider myself to be a true expert or one of the best at any of the topics that I'll be discussing. While I feel that I'm pretty competent at theory crafting, one of the underlying reasons for me making this series is that it will force me to become even more proficient with the currently available theory crafting tools and methods. This series is meant to be a learning experience for everyone involved, including myself. It's also worth noting that many of the examples and perspectives used in this series will involve doing theory crafting as a DPS warrior. Now, despite all of this, all of the concepts that I will be discussing are applicable to any other class or spec. As always, tell me why my opinions are dumb and why I'm wasting my time with this series. Alternatively, tell me what aspect of theory crafting you wish you were better at, or what aspect of theory crafting you would like me to talk about. Finally, I just want to say thank you for watching this video, and subscribe for more.